Hey, what's up, Skelemystyk? Sorry, I am, as you can see, in my gardening clothes today with my little pooper dog, and I have too much excess energy left over to change back to the silver and orange that you're used to. In today's video, though, I want to talk about the evil twin of the drop rate, and that is the Mystic RNG. Yes, RNG, that evil little scientist, that little hidden ninja in the works, that destroyer of many plans. RNG, if you don't already know, although you probably do, I'm going to say it anyway just because, well, I do that kind of thing. RNG, the random number generator. This is a device used in this game and many other games to determine a result. Every time you do a particular action in this game, the RNG has a say in what happens. Let me give you some examples of that. And this is one that I know is going to be near and dear to the hearts of many of you because I've heard this complaint about a million times. You're in a battle. The boss is just about to wipe everybody out. But if you can pull this one attack card, or hey, any attack card, you're going to make it. The boss is down to his last little bit of health. And if you can just basically blow him a big wet kiss, you'll knock him over dead and you'll win and you'll get drops. And everybody will go on happy. However, the last 5 turns in a row, you've drawn a blade, or an enchant, or a tower shield, or any old thing that you might happen to have in your deck or in Grandma's cupboard, then an attack. You cannot for the life of you get an attack. You've got plenty of pips. I mean, the whole thing is lit up like a Christmas tree. Your face is glowing with power, but you cannot get an attack card to save the life of you. Bam, you die. Why? Because you couldn't find anything even as small as a bat spell to hit the boss with to finish him off. You couldn't find a 1 spell if you wanted one to finish him off with. That is that evil little mad scientist RNG at work. Another good example of this, of RNG, sort of similar, a little bit different, for those of you who are higher level. Okay, you're in PvP, and man, you could just wipe this dude out if you could just pull the Shadow Pip to cast those bugs. I mean, heck, that guy, you can wipe out the enemy team if you can just pull a Shadow Pip. You have, just like with the other situation I mentioned, a full range of pips. You've got plenty of spell power to do this with, but you just can't seem to get a Shadow Pip. Everybody around you's got Shadow Pip here, Shadow Pip there. They all kinds of Shadow Pips, and they have no spells to work with. You have the spells, but no Shadow Pip. It seems like 10 turns later, you still don't have a Shadow Pip. And you're like, come on, people. Wait, what? I need a Shadow Pip to do this. And you don't get one. And you lose your PvP match. That's one of the reasons that PvPers, real hardcore PvPers, wish that Shadow Magic would be taken off of that, and the fact that things like Glowbug Squall have wiped out enemy teams like pow before. You know, first turn, slam, bam, thank you, man, we're out of here, on to the next PvP match. That is the reasons that hardcore PvPers hate the Shadow Pip spells. But still yet, you're hating the Shadow Pip spell because you can't get the Shadow Pip. There he is again, Mr. RNG at work. The random number generator is responsible for more deaths on this and other games, I think, then the Black Plague was responsible for real deaths, I think. I'm pretty sure. I know I've died from it a bunch of times. All right, we know what the random number generator is now. And for those of you who already know, you're probably already bored of hearing me go on about it. What can you do about it? In most cases, I'm sad to say, you must grin. You must bear it. You must just shake your head, throw out one of those words that I'm not going to repeat here on this video, and go on in most cases. There are, however, a few instances where you can influence random number generation as to what it is and what it does and how it helps you. Excuse me. One of the ways that we have learned to do this, or one of the, not even the ways we have learned to do this, some of the triggers that we have learned have especially dealt with the random number generation of may cast pet spells. Okay, we have learned certain triggers that makes your pet cat may cast that fairy, that makes your pet may cast that tower shield, or may cast that blade, or whatever. Those are all still examples of random number generation. They are. Whether or not your pet casts a spell is all determined by that. Now, there's a few that you may not know that I know, and there's a few that you may know that I don't know. The purpose of this video is to share this information. Because the way that we work as a community, you know, it might be that one or two people know a particular trick or secret that nobody else knows. I mean, and it just never occurred to them to say anything about it. So this is what I know about the random number generator and some ways to make things work. For instance, with the shadow pips. You're playing along and you can't seem to get a shadow pip. I have noticed that what works is casting a spell, any spell that uses pips. The more pips it uses, the better. For some odd reason, after you cast a mana costing spell, and that means you can't just cast blades or shields or whatever, because that doesn't seem to trip it. However, it seems like more times than not, after you cast a mana usage spell, the next turn, you'll get a shadow pip to pop up. I do not know why this is. I just know that I have seen it and that it works. A few other triggers. Oh, let me think about what else I want to tell you about. That's really one of the big ones, because I was talking about this, I don't know, a couple of days ago in chat. And it was before I'd even done the drop rate video. And I was like, oh yeah, you know what? I know about that, but it doesn't seem like I've seen anybody say anything about it. Another one that I can talk about that I've seen before is some of your gardening plants have the ability to generate pixie. I know this one's way out there, but it's still one that applies. It's one that I learned over time. If you even have a single pixie treasure card, or you have another plant that does generate pixies, another type of plant, you can plant that plant near your garden, or you can use that TC pixie spell, and it will make the other plants generate pixie for the rest of the time that those plants are growing. If you wanted pixie as a garden bonus for your evil magma peas, plant a couch potato or something that generates pixie near them, or use just one pixie TC spell. The pixie TC, if I remember right, lasts for 48 hours, so that's mostly going to cover your peas anyway. But for some odd reason, plants that ordinarily generate pixie and aren't generating pixies can be triggered to do so by a different type of plant that generates pixies, or the TC itself. Let me see if I can think of one more here. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Yes. In fishing. Fishing is determined, whether you catch a fish or not is determined by a lot of factors, including random number generation. But the random number generation in fishing is influenced well by luck. If you are fishing and you're having trouble catching, say you're fishing for a rank 1 ice fish, and you are having trouble catching those fish, for some reason they keep getting away. You don't know, and you'll have it. Even if you have the right school spell to catch a particular fish, sometimes they'll just keep getting away. One of the tricks for that, to influence random number generation, is use a higher rank spell than the fish. If you have a rank 1 fish and you're using a rank 3 fishing spell, this is a little known fact, but it has been verified with King's Isle. If you're using a higher rank fishing spell than the fish you're trying to catch, it will generate extra luck, 5% per level. So if you're catching a rank 1 fish and you're using a rank 3 spell, that higher level spell automatically generates 5% per level. So you would be generating 10% extra fishing luck and influencing random number generation. There's a whole host of little tricks, even now, even today, to this game, that have yet to be found or that have yet to be shared if they have been found. And I think that if we got together and we shared a bunch of these, there'd be a lot more happier campers than there are. Guys, that's it for random number generation. I hope that there's some little bits of tidbits of information here that helped you out. If there is, awesome. I'm glad I did my job. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, a good hard smash, subscribe, share, yell my name to everybody you know. Do all those things that you already know how to do to help a brother out here. Help a brother out. I'm such a small YouTuber. I want to grow. If you'd like to hang out live, you are more than welcome to. I stream pretty much every evening in the world. It's not always Wizard, but it's always something fun. We have a great community there, top-notch, wonderful, helpful people, and you would be more than welcome to come. Pretty much every evening, 9:30 to 10 p.m. Eastern is when I start. Love to see you there. Until next time, this is Skelemystyk reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace.